Okay, so let's talk about this feeling, this really unique and almost electric sensation that, a lot of cross-dressers describe.
Right. It's like this sharp cocktail, isn't it? Adrenaline, anticipation.
Yeah, and this really deep emotional thing happening all at once. Your heart's racing, maybe your thoughts feel scattered, but also sharp. It's
It's,
intoxicating.
it really is a very powerful physical and emotional wave.
Exactly. We've spent a lot of time with this really insightful piece, The Rush of Silk and Self, Understanding the Emotional and Adrenaline Highs of Cross-Dressing by Gender Benson.
Yeah, it's a fantastic source.
And we've pulled out, the key ideas, the most important bits for you listening.
Our goal today really is to unpack the psychology behind it all. Where do these rushes come from? What about identity?
And how does it change over time, I mean?
Right. And what does it all mean for, like, self-acceptance? For well-being? We want to offer a kind of shortcut to understanding this whole thing, which is often really personal and, frankly, misunderstood.
Okay, so let's start with that initial spark, because it's often so vivid.
Oh, absolutely. The first time experience.
Yeah. Ask anyone who cross-dresses, and they usually remember it so clearly. Doesn't matter if it was when they were 6 or 60.
It's burned into memory, isn't it?
Totally. You hear these details like sneaking into a closet, heart absolutely pounding.
Hands trembling.
Yeah. Slipping on maybe a dress or stockings, feeling this crazy mix of joy, but also, like, sheer terror.
Forbidden joy, yeah.
The Benson piece really nails this intensity. It says the adrenaline is, and I quote, as real as skydiving and in some ways just as dangerous.
Wow. That's powerful framing.
It is. So it makes you think, why does it feel that intense? What's really going on there?
Well, that's the core question, isn't it? And what's so interesting is that the intensity isn't just about, say, breaking a rule. It's deeper. Okay. It's this collision, almost a paradox. You've got this deeply authentic feeling, this self-expression, hitting up against societal norms, what's expected.
Right. The taboo factor.
Exactly. The taboo is huge. Plus, it's often new, unfamiliar territory. And there's this underlying threat, this fear of exposing a really vulnerable personal part of yourself.
That society basically tells you to hide.
Precisely. But here's the thing, despite all that, or maybe because of it, it can feel profoundly right in your own body.
That conflict.
Yes,
Yeah.
that conflict, that friction between your inner truth and the external rules, that's what fuels this incredible emotional surge.
Okay, so it's psychological conflict driving the intensity.
And it connects directly to our neurobiology, too. It's not just in the mind.
How so?
Well, think about it. When you do something that feels risky or socially forbidden, especially if it means a lot to you personally, your brain kicks into high gear.
Fight or flight.
Basically, yeah.
I
It
don't-
releases adrenaline, dopamine, all these chemicals flood your system.
Giving you that heightened alertness, racing heart energy boost?
Exactly. It's your body's ancient survival system firing up. But, and this is the fascinating twist, when that powerful system gets activated by something that feels personally affirming.
Like cross-dressing can be.
Right. When it's tied to expressing who you are, it doesn't just trigger fear, it triggers euphoria.
Ah, I see. So the meaning behind the act changes the brain's interpretation of the rush.
You got it. Think about maybe performing on stage, or that intensity you feel in a new romance.
Yeah, there's a similar thrill there.
There's often that performative edge, as Benson calls it, a sense of revealing yourself. You're playing with boundaries, with identity, in a way that feels, well, both dangerous and incredibly freeing.
But it can't only be about that initial spike, right? That adrenaline rush. It feels like there's more going on emotionally underneath.
Oh, you're absolutely right. That spike is what you notice first, the physical reaction. But beneath that, there are these incredibly deep emotional wells. For so many people who cross-dress, it's not just one feeling. It's a whole complex range washing over them. Relief, maybe, but also guilt, pride, fear, shame.
Wow. Yeah. All at once sometimes.
All at once, or competing. You might feel, like the piece says, beautiful and embarrassed all at once, or maybe powerful, but also kind of afraid to look in the mirror for too long.
That complexity, it must lead to a lot of questions for people. I imagine you listening might have wrestled with thoughts like,
Oh, for sure. Questions like, is this excitement purely erotic? Or is it about my identity? Why do I only feel this alive when I'm dressed?
and maybe, is it okay? Is it wrong that this feels so good?
Those are such common, valid questions, and what Benson really emphasizes is crucial here. Those emotional spikes, they're not a sign of deviance.
Okay, that's important.
They're a sign of meaning, the thrill, the nerves, that pounding chest. It just means this matters to you
Hmm.
deeply.
Right. It signifies importance.
Exactly. And we should probably address the arousal connection directly because it often comes up, especially early on.
Yeah. That seems like a key piece for many.
It is. And for some people, the rush of dressing is deeply sensual. The feel of the fabrics, the scents, the whole fantasy aspect.
Mm.
And that connection, it's completely normal. It's healthy.
But it can lead to worries, right?
Like, am I just fetishizing femininity, or is this whole thing just a kink? Those are common anxieties.
So how does Benson address that?
By highlighting that cross-dressing exists on a spectrum, for some, yes, it's primarily tied to sexuality. For others, it's much more about identity expression.
And for most.
For most, Benson suggests it's a mix. It's not always one or the other.
That makes sense. It's complex.
And it can change over time, too. For many, that initial arousal might fade a bit, replaced by something like emotional clarity, comfort, maybe empowerment.
But for others, the sensual part remains.
Absolutely. And that remains a fulfilling, valid part of their experience. There's really no wrong way to feel here. The most important thing is just being honest with yourself about what it means for you.
That honesty piece seems key. Okay, so we've talked about the initial intensity, the underlying emotion. But what about the long run? Does that electrifying rush just stay the same forever? Or does it shift?
That's a really common question, and actually, the evolution is often quite profound.
How so?
Well, the emotional response, the adrenaline, it really does tend to change over time. What might have started out as this secret high-stakes thrill
Yeah.
can actually evolve. It can become more like a form of emotional grounding, comforting, affirming, even calming. Benson uses this lovely analogy like returning home after a long day.
Wow. So it becomes less about the thrill and more about comfort, peace.
In many cases, yes. Which can lead to another worry, right? People sometimes ask, am I losing the spark?
Right. Is the magic gone?
But usually that shift isn't about losing something, it's about gaining something deeper. Self-acceptance.
Ah, okay.
As cross-dressing becomes more integrated into how you see yourself, your brain just doesn't flag it as dangerous in the same way. It feels
Yeah.
safer, more natural.
So the intense rush might mellow, but it's a sign of progress, in a way.
Exactly. It's a sign of integration. And the excitement doesn't necessarily disappear entirely. It just becomes, well, more nuanced.
Nuanced how? Like, where did the highs come from then?
They might come from different places.
Yeah.
Maybe getting a genuine compliment from a stranger when you're out.
Okay.
Or that moment you catch your reflection and just think, damn, that's me. Feeling good, feeling confident.
Yeah, I could see that.
Or simply the quiet confidence of walking down a main street in daylight instead of feeling like you have to stick to the shadows. Those become the new highs.
That sounds like a really beautiful evolution, finding that kind of home within yourself. And I guess for many, that journey eventually leads them to want to bring that self out, right, into the world.
Latent, yes.
Stepping outside, dressed for the first time. I mean, that must be a whole other level of intensity.
Oh, absolutely. The ultimate high-stakes moment for many.
You imagine the air feels different.
Yeah.
Every step feels heavy and light at the same time.
Exposed yet maybe invisible, too. It's a strange paradox. Some people even describe feeling like they're literally glowing.
Glowing. Wow. It's such a mix, isn't it? Fear and exhilaration all tangled up.
Totally. You're stepping into a world that might not get it, might judge.
And maybe even confront you.
Right. So you're being incredibly brave, putting your authentic self out there, but that comes with huge vulnerability. The adrenaline isn't just about the clothes then.
It's about being seen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Seen, judged, maybe. It takes immense inner strength.
And I imagine after an experience like that, you'd be wiped out.
Completely. Emotionally wiped out is a common description. Exhilarated, yes, but also just exhausted.
So aftercare is important then.
Hugely important. Benson really stresses honoring that emotional toll. Rest, reflect, take care of yourself.
Like journaling maybe. Or talking to someone you trust.
Yeah, or just decompressing quietly.
Yeah.
Recognizing, okay, I just did something huge for myself, giving yourself that credit and that space.
That's really vital advice.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned adrenaline spikes. Does that mean there's also like a crash afterwards? A come down?
That's definitely something to be aware of. With any big adrenaline rush, a come down is possible.
Okay.
And many cross-dressers do report feelings of sadness, emptiness, maybe guilt after dressing.
Even if it felt good during.
Yes. It's like the thrill burns out and leaves this emotional vacuum. You might even find yourself thinking, oh, why do I do this to myself?
So it's not just physical tiredness, it's emotional. Is there a pattern? Why do some people get this crash more? Is it always about shame?
That's a great question. These crashes, Benson points out, are really important signals. They often point towards unresolved shame or maybe internalized negative messages, things that need compassion, that need healing.
So if you love how you feel dressed, but the aftermath is painful.
It's a sign to dig deeper, not necessarily to stop, but to understand why that crash is happening.
Right. Look for the source.
Exactly. Examine those emotional hangovers, as the piece calls them. Is it fear of judgment? Is it some deep-seated belief that dressing is wrong? Is it loneliness, maybe?
Once you identify the source.
You can start to challenge those narratives. You can work towards feeling good both during and after. A more integrated experience.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so given all of this, the intensity, the emotions, the potential crash,
Yeah.
how can people cultivate, healthy, joyful highs, ones that feel good without that roller coaster afterwards?
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely possible. And Benson offers some really practical, helpful tips.
Oh, good. Like what?
Well, first, think about creating rituals.
Rituals.
Yeah. Use specific music, maybe, or
So-
lighting you like, a favorite perfume. Things that make the act of dressing feel less secretive and more sacred, almost, like a cherished act of self-care.
I like that. Shifting it from hidden to honored.
Exactly. Second, connect with other people. Yes. Find online groups or maybe in-person communities if they're available and feel safe. It helps normalize everything, gives you a space to share the highs and the lows. It builds belonging.
That's huge.
Mindfulness can be really helpful. Tuning into your body, your emotions,
Yeah.
learning to sort of ride the adrenaline wave instead of feeling like you're being tossed around by it.
Okay, so being present with the feeling.
Yeah, allowing the joy without letting the anxiety take over. And finally, maybe the biggest one, dress without hiding as much as feels safe and right for you.
Bringing it into the light more.
The more it becomes just a part of your normal life, the less it feels like some guilty pleasure, and the more it just feels like self-expression. Pure and simple.
Those are great actionable tips.
And maybe the most important thing to remember through all of this is that feeling of isolation, thinking you're the only one who feels this way.
Yeah, that must be common.
It is. But Benson makes it so clear. You are not alone. Thousands, maybe millions of people have walked this exact same emotional tightrope.
That's incredibly reassuring.
And that rush you feel, it isn't a defect. It's not something wrong with you. It's your body, your whole being responding to something profound, something real.
Something that demands attention.
It demands to be explored, absolutely.
What a powerful way to reframe the whole experience. It's not a problem to solve. It's activating parts of us, isn't it?
Yeah.
Creativity, vulnerability, courage. Things that might not get much airtime in daily life.
Precisely. Those highs, the adrenaline, the emotions, they're like a message from your deeper self.
So instead of being afraid of the intensity,
Get curious. Ask yourself, what lights you up? What scares you? What fills you with that specific kind of joy?
because understanding those spikes,
Understanding and embracing them. That's part of the journey towards authenticity. And over time, it's not just about chasing thrilling moments.
it leads somewhere else.
It can lead to sustained peace, to real deep self-love.
So the message is, ride the wave, feel the fabric,